The Petco parking lot reeked of entitlement, so thick you could choke on it. Karen and Carla, the infamous HOA Karen sisters, waddled in with their unvaccinated poodle, Princess, like they owned the place because, in their minds, they did. Their neon tracksuits clashed louder than their voices, which was saying something. Karen, the elder, had a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp, her chins quivering with every self-righteous word. Carla, her younger shadow, mirrored her sister's sneer, clutching Princess's leash as if it were a scepter of authority. The sisters had a reputation in their gated community. They'd fine neighbors for untrimmed hedges while their own lawn looked like a landfill. Today, they'd set their sights on Petco, demanding a grooming session for Princess without proof of her rabies vaccination. The groomer, a 22-year-old named Mia, barely 5 feet tall, stood her ground behind the counter. Her ponytail was fraying, her apron smeared with dog hair, but her eyes burned with quiet resolve. "I'm sorry, ma'am," Mia said, voice steady despite the sisters' looming presence. "Store policy requires proof of rabies vaccination before we can groom any pet. It's for everyone's safety." Karen's laugh was a guttural bark. "Safety? You're telling me about safety? I've been raising dogs since you were in diapers, sweetheart." She leaned forward, her bulk casting a shadow over Mia's clipboard. "Do you know who I am? I'm on the HOA board. I could have your job with one phone call." Carla chimed in, her voice a nasal echo. "Yeah, we don't need your little policy. Princess is cleaner than this dump." She gestured at the store, where shelves of kibble and squeaky toys stood in neat rows, mocking her claim. Mia's jaw tightened. She'd dealt with difficult customers before, but the Karen sisters were a category of their own. Their entitlement was a weapon, wielded with the precision of a wrecking ball. "I understand you're upset," Mia said, "but I can't break policy. If you have the paperwork in your car, I can wait while you get it." Karen's eyes narrowed to slits. "Paperwork? You're accusing me of lying? My Princess is a purebred, not some mangy mutt off the street." Her voice rose, drawing stares from a couple of customers browsing nearby. A man with a cart full of cat litter froze, his phone half raised to record. The store manager, a wiry guy named Tom, hovered near the registers, sensing trouble. Carla, emboldened by her sister's tirade, yanked Princess's leash, making the poodle yelp. "You're just jealous," she spat at Mia. "Bet you can't even afford a dog like this. What's your problem, huh? Minimum wage loser." Mia's cheeks flushed, but she didn't flinch. "It's not about me, ma'am. It's about keeping every pet safe. Rabies is serious. If Princess bites someone, Karen roared, slamming her fist on the counter. A display of dog treats toppled, scattering biscuits across the floor. "My Princess would never." "You're slandering my baby." Princess, oblivious, sniffed at a fallen treat, her matted fur a testament to the sisters' neglect. The scene was spiraling, and the air crackled with tension. Tom stepped forward, his manager badge glinting under the fluorescent lights. "Ladies, please," he said, voice calm but firm. "If you can't provide the documentation, I'll have to ask you to leave." Karen spun on him, her face a blotchy red. "Leave? Oh, you'll regret this, buddy. I'm calling corporate. I'm calling my lawyer. I'll have this whole store shut down." Carla nodded furiously, already scrolling through her phone for the Petco customer service number. Mia, still clutching her clipboard like a shield, took a deep breath. "I'm just doing my job," she said quietly. "I love animals. That's why I'm here. If you care about Princess, you'd want her protected, too." The words hit like a slap. For a split second, Karen's bravado faltered, her eyes flickering with something guilt, maybe, or shame. But it vanished as quickly as it came. "Don't you dare lecture me," she screamed, jabbing a finger at Mia. "You're nothing. You're nobody." The outburst was the final straw. Tom pulled out his phone and dialed security. The customers in the store were openly staring now, one of them a woman with a toddler in her cart muttering, "Unbelievable." The man with the cat litter was filming, his phone angled to catch every word. Karen noticed the camera and turned her fury on him. "What are you looking at? Mind your own business." She lunged toward him, but Carla grabbed her arm, hissing, "Don't make it worse. Princess, caught in the chaos, started barking, her high-pitched yaps adding to the cacophony. Within minutes, a security guard arrived, followed by a police officer who'd been patrolling nearby. The officer, a no-nonsense woman named Officer Lopez, took one look at the scene and sighed. "All right, what's going on here?" Karen and Carla launched into a simultaneous tirade, their voices overlapping in a symphony of complaints. "This girl's incompetent. She insulted us. We're being discriminated against." Mia stood silent, her eyes fixed on the floor, while Tom quietly explained the situation to Lopez. The officer raised a hand, cutting the sisters off. "Ma'am, I need you to calm down. Did you provide the required documentation for your dog?" Karen sputtered. "I don't need to show you anything. This is harassment." Lopez's patience was wearing thin. "If you can't comply with store policy, you need to leave. And if you keep disrupting, we'll have a bigger problem." Carla, sensing the shift, tried to pivot. "Officer, we're just trying to get our sweet princess groomed. Is that a crime?" Her voice dripped with fake sweetness, but Lopez wasn't buying it. Refusing to leave when asked is trespassing, Lopez said flatly. "And disturbing the peace isn't helping your case. Last chance, leave now, or I'm escorting you out." Karen's face twisted into a sneer. "You can't touch me. I know my rights." She crossed her arms, planting herself like a human barricade. Carla mirrored her, though her confidence was visibly crumbling. Lopez didn't hesitate. She motioned to the security guard, who stepped forward with a pair of handcuffs. The crowd gasped as Karen's arms were pulled behind her back, the cuffs clicking into place. Carla, panicking, tried to argue, but a second officer arrived and cuffed her too. Princess, left on her leash, was gently picked up by Mia, who whispered, "It's okay, girl," as the dog whimpered. As the sisters were let out, still shouting about lawsuits and injustice, the store erupted in murmurs. The man with the cat litter uploaded his video to X, where it racked up thousands of views within hours. The handwritten sign on the pet food display, scrawled by an employee who'd witnessed the whole thing, became an instant meme. Karen's sister's Rabies ran in cuffs. Back inside, Mia knelt beside Princess, stroking her matted fur. Tom placed a hand on her shoulder. "You handled that like a pro," he said. "Sorry you had to deal with them." Mia shrugged, a small smile breaking through. "It's not about me. It's about the animals. They deserve better than that." The crowd dispersed, and the store returned to its usual hum. But the story of the Karen sisters spread, a cautionary tale of entitlement meeting its match. Mia went back to her work, quietly cleaning up the scattered dog treats, her resolve stronger than ever. She wasn't just a groomer, she was a gatekeeper, protecting the vulnerable from those who thought rules didn't apply to them. Karen and Carla, meanwhile, faced a night in holding, their complaints echoing off the cell walls. Their HOA reign of terror was crumbling, their neighbors already whispering about replacing them on the board. Princess was taken to a local shelter, where her vaccinations were updated, and she found a new home with a family who loved her, not as a status symbol, but as a pet. The world moved on, but the lesson lingered. Entitlement might open doors, but only humility keeps them open. And for the Karen sisters, those doors were now firmly locked. The end.